So I'm only going live for a couple minutes here. I just seen a couple people pop in, so I'll get to it. Devastating comeback knockout for Leon Edwards. Kamaru Usman was dominating this fight, almost from bell to bell. It would have been a 4-1 decision. I think 3-2. It would be very hard to make that argument. Between Kamaru Usman's pressure and everything else, I mean, it just looked like it was over. It kind of looked like, to a degree, and even Dean Thomas said it on the broadcast, that it looked like he was phoning it in to some degree. You know, that Leon Edwards was ready to just say, you know what, the pressure, and this is what we thought we were going to see. Kamaru on the cage screaming. This is when Leon actually scored a decent takedown, the first legitimate takedown and hold down, and some little submission attempts and a little struggle in Kamaru Usman's career in the UFC. But for the most part, it was Kamaru's relentless pressure that was the story of the fight. Leon came out, had a great first round, won the round for sure. Landed some good left hands, in the in-between rounds. But Kamaru just stayed on him. Takedowns, body shots, getting him up against the cage, landing shots, had Leon in trouble once or twice. You know, Kamaru was never quite hurt by anything that Leon Edwards landed, but he did land some good shots throughout the fight. You know, we can't act like, Leon did no work, but the only round that he won, to Roy's point, without question, was the first round. You can't go 3-2 on this fight. Kamaru was wearing him down. Kamaru was beating him up, and then bang, Leon Edwards saw his moment. Last seconds of the final round might be the greatest comeback in the history of a championship fight in the UFC. It is debatable, the Derek Lewis one at the end of the Volkov fight. That was literally last second. I think it was in later in the round. But in a championship high-level fight, I think this might be the greatest comeback in UFC history. I mean, he put Kamaru Usman in the phantom zone, purgatory, wherever you want to say. He put him in another dimension. All right, he was seeing 4 Doctor Stranges. He woke up. He was like, no way. Didn't know what happened. Had no idea. The kick came out of nowhere. Even John Anik, I believe, on the broadcast said, I didn't even see it. You got to take your hats off to Leon Edwards, because this was tactical. And this shows you this is all it takes. It takes 1 second in the fight, whether in the street. That's why you should always, consider whether or not a street fight is worth it or not, because all it takes is 1 split second. And that could be concrete, that could be a curb, whatever it is. But in a professional prize fight, even more so. It takes 1 second, 1 split second of a mistake, 1 lapse in judgment. Not paying attention, because it was perfect. The way Leon set it up, how he looked it in. He seen him. He threw the jab as a little, as the, the bait. He bit on it. Bang. Beautiful kick. Good night, Kamaru Usman. Still all-time great, no question. He might come back. And honestly, there's a very good chance that Kamaru comes back and beats Leon Edwards down. And it doesn't take anything away from Kamaru's overall resume. But of course, when you get knocked out like that, it's gonna hurt him, his path up the GOAT mountain for sure. And at this moment, right now, Leon's the GOAT killer. Because at the end of the day, the technician won, right? Better wrestler, Usman, of course. Better striker, probably still Edwards overall from a technical standpoint, especially after seeing this. But Usman had great moments with his hands, great moments wrestling, was definitely about to put the cherry on top of the fight. And Leon Edwards turned around and landed, in my opinion, one of, if not the greatest comeback in the history of a championship fight in the UFC, in the history of championship fights. In the history of the UFC, it's probably some people that can make an argument that they got the greatest comeback ever. But overall, great night of fights. Neither guy was tired. Both of these guys have a gas tank like no other. And that's the thing. And you know what? Kamaru should have known that. because he could keep his gas tank up. We seen that, right? He did it with Kobe Covington multiple times, and was able to keep up with Covington and outlast Covington even in the fights. So we knew the gas tank was there, and he knew Leon Edwards' gas tank was there. And he also knew Leon Edwards was a technician. And that's what Trevor Whitman is going to be on his neck about when they talk about this fight. He trains, Trevor Whitman, as far as being a trainer in UFC, he's a technician. So he trains his fighters to be on point and ready at any moment in the fight. And all Kamaru Usman did was dominate a fight for the most part, make adjustments, look like he was strolling up Goat Mountain, continuing the goat stroll. And he just had one moment where he allowed Leon Edwards to get the best of the chess match. And that one moment separated him from his consciousness. All right. This was a KO. This is no goddamn TKO. You know what I mean? Laundry. What's going on? He keeps talking about playing in. Yeah. Nah. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, you know what, though? Nah, you can't say there's no way, though, because Usman is Usman. The skills are still there, right? This is one of those knockouts where it's just a matter of one, like I said, one contact, one little split second, one flea, the amount of volume that a flea takes up. That's the amount of lapse in judgment he had. And that one lapse in judgment, just that one speck where he wasn't paying full attention, Leon Edwards, being the technician he was able to take advantage of it. He seen it, looked right in Usman's eyes, hit him with the the fake jab, and then bang, good night. Luke and Costa, bro. I didn't even think that fight was gonna go 2 or 3 rounds, let alone the entire. It looked like that fight was about to go a round and a half, and then for both guys to make it to the final bell, and Rockhold showed a lot of heart. Retired, of course. I put a little video up for that as well, Roy, if you want to go check that. But my God, man, what a night of fights overall. Good night of fights overall. Good event. As far as the total package of it. But Rockhold and Costa, they probably stole the show. You got to give them fight of the night, of course, even though it was sloppy and weird and funny, but it was bloody. And both guys had to make adjustments. And then, of course, knockout of the night finish. I mean, you better give Leon Edwards 9 bonuses after this shit. I mean, man, just waited for his moment. Just waited for his moment. And it just goes to show you, man. It's like, I've always seen this in sports, and you see people, they see fighters losing, or they see, they see their team down in football. And I'll never forget being a kid and watching, oh yeah, Costa, that's Chippendale versus Chippendale. That was the underwear model face off, between those two. But I remember being young, and the Buffalo Bills were down 35-3 against the Houston Oilers in the playoffs. My whole family left the room. It's over. They ended up coming back to win the game 41-38, I believe. And obviously you've seen things like that in fights all the time. You can't write a team off. You can't write a fighter off. And even more so, you can't write a fighter off. For people that watch fights, that give up on fights because they see a dude getting whooped a little bit. Even Dean Thomas made the mistake tonight. He said he thought Leon Edwards phoned it in, and he just said, all right, you know what? I'll take a decision loss. But Leon Edwards the entire time was just looking for that moment. He wasn't going to out-cardio Kamaru Usman. He wasn't going to out-wrestle Kamaru Usman. And truthfully, he wasn't even going to outstrike Kamaru Usman overall. Usman, regardless, was winning most of the striking exchanges, right? He was winning a good amount of the striking exchanges, and Leon Edwards knew he knew probably, I don't know, 3rd round, leaning into the 4th. He's like I need to time something, and that's exactly what he did. And Leon Edwards is one of the most technically proficient strikers in the UFC, so man, what a fight. What a fight overall. Usman dominating. Should have won. Could have won. But instead got put to sleep. And that's the name of the fight game. Did I watch? Of course I watched MVP versus Mike Perry. I put a video on Twitter and Instagram talking about that. Oh no, I don't think I don't think I gave commentary. I think I just put the post fight. It was a great fight, close fight. You know, they missed one knockdown though, because Mike Perry got knocked down by Michael Venom Page. I think it was in the second round. He clipped him with a short right hook, and Mike Perry's his hands touched the canvas real quick, and the referee missed it. So that might have made a difference, you know, because the way bare knuckle boxing works is you have 5 rounds, and then if there is no winner at the end of 5 rounds, if it's a draw, they do a 6th round sudden death. And in the 6th round sudden death, Mike Perry came out like a bat out of hell. He got clipped a few times, but that's the story of the fight with Venom Page and Mike Perry, right? Mike Perry just moving forward like a demon, you know, got clipped, should have been one knockdown counted against him, but just kept moving forward, kept moving forward. And in the 6th round, it's winner take all. The rest of the fight don't matter. Mike Perry bit down on his mouthpiece, fought through, you know, a couple shots from Mike Venom Page, and it just kept going at him, kept going forward, caught him with a very awkward uppercut at one point. Venom Page was very tired, and by the end of the round, Venom Page had more marks on him caused in the 6th round, right? He had more damage done to him in the last round, the sudden death round between him and Mike Perry, than he sustained probably for the rest of the fight. So yeah, Mike Perry's built for it. That's the post I put up, and he called out Jake Paul. I mean, that's what Mike Perry's built for: bare knuckle, brawl. You know, he's obviously has technical skills when it comes to MMA as well. Does Mike Perry? But at the end of the day, he's built for that just that warrior shit. Mike Perry's a street fighter. He don't care. He'll fight anyone. He'll say it straight up. I'll beat up a bitch. I don't care if you're disrespectful. It is what it is. Like, he don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So yeah, you might see a rematch of that fight at some point. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know if Venom Page will want it. I know Mike Perry prior discussed maybe going to Bellator and fighting Venom Page, but he also called out Jake Paul. And for me, Mike Perry versus Jake Paul is a hell of a fight, and a fight I would love to see. It's fun. Mike Perry won't quit. You have to kill him to get him out of there. So, yeah. Usman will come back. You do not run through the division like he did. No, of course not. That's what people got to understand about the Usman thing, man. It's just one moment. One moment. That's it. One moment. He had a bad moment, and he got knocked the fuck out because he thought he had it in the bag. And we all thought he had it in the bag for the most part. But there is always, if there's time left on the clock, especially in the fight game, it's not over, you know? England has a great tradition of highly skilled striker. Yeah, of course, 100%. Michael Venom Page is also one of them. Usyk, I mean, he's not, you know, England, but I don't know. I'm just going to go to that for a second, though. But Usyk looked good again. Anthony Joshua threw a fit. We had a hell of a night of fights tonight overall. But didn't the judge, yeah. I don't know if the judge saw it, but it doesn't matter because if the referee doesn't count it as a knockdown, you don't count it as a knockdown on your card. The judge has to, the referee has to acknowledge it. What gay stunt did Duke Lou with that nosebleed? Yo, that was hilarious, bro. Bro, he dumped a half-gallon of blood on Paulo Costa's face. You know what I mean? Jake Paul is going to be with gloves, right? Yeah, I would say, yeah, he even said that. He said if he doesn't want to step in here, I'll put the pillows back on, you know? I'll put the pillows back on for him. Oh, Perry talks, man. That's why I love Perry, man. Perry's just, he's just a nut. I know dudes like Mike Perry in my life. You know what I mean? Like he's a legit maniac, Mike Perry. Perfect matchup. Absolutely perfect matchup. It'll be fun. It'll be action-packed. And honestly, even for Jake Paul, it gives him a chance to get another knockout because Mike Perry can be hit. So I'm really hoping that fight happens. A fun fight. Big money fight, especially after that. And yeah, 100%. What up, Nick? What's the word, my brother? Bro, that Costa fight was outrageous. That Costa fight was outrageous, bro. But and I don't know how I feel about Costa after the fight, because to me, I love Luke Rockhold, had a hell of a career. But if you couldn't get old ass ready to retire Luke Rockhold out of there, I don't know. I don't know how good that, but the one thing I will say is even though he was also very tired, he did show better cardio than he's shown at times in the past. So, you know, it's my man South. So listen, I really just did this real quick, just so I could talk about the Usman Edwards fight. I got some videos on Twitter that I put up about some of the other fights tonight. There's 2 videos on the Focus channel as well, talking about the Usyk Joshua fight. If you guys want to check that out, as well as the Costa Rockhold fight, I put up 2 videos reacting to those as well. I'm gonna start doing some live fight companions again because I'm not doing that Sunday show anymore. So I'm probably gonna get back to it at times, but I also want to do the side videos because at times I can put a little more into those, and either way, sometimes those get more traction. So, bro, yeah, you ain't lying, bro. Yeah, we put in the hot tub earlier today. You are not lying, brother. He damn sure did. He damn sure did get dropped like that fucking hot tub. You are not fucking lying. I lost respect for Costa showboating and should have put him out. Costa yeah, listen, I liked Costa at the end of the fight, right? At the end of the fight, he was respectful. He said the right things. And, I liked him. Overall, I don't know. He got a couple notches back on his belt. He's been a weirdo for like a good couple years. Ever since Adesanya knocked him out, he's been a fucking weirdo, but I like him. That Sissy Aldo fought was annoying, but yeah, well, listen, I mean, it's part of the game. Part of mixed martial arts is if I could hold you up against the fence or hold you on the ground and you're too bitch ass to get up, that's a loss. What's more frustrating than that? Maybe getting knocked out in the last 15 seconds, but that's about it. Aldo lost a unanimous decision. The guy grinded him out. It was like a grind out, less dominant, weird Khabib kind of performance. But Aldo lost that fight. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this now. Keeping it under 20. I might end up taking this down. I might end up clipping it. Might leave it up. Not sure. I appreciate you guys checking in. I didn't even share the link anywhere. So probably 20 people are gonna see this in total. That's why I might end up taking it down. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Please, Wednesdays at 9:40, Original WHiggaz. Check me and Dust out. Comedy, satire, just fun, just silly, no negative energy. Much love to everybody out there. Congrats to Leon Edwards for one of the biggest comebacks in the history of the UFC. And I'll see y'all next Saturday. Oh, next Saturday, we have the of course, bro, of course, let me know. Next time there's work, I'm there, brother. I am there. We're doing a live fight companion August 27th for the KSI card because there's a comedian fighting on there, Sam Hyde, who we did a little critique of his boxing skills a couple months ago. Gorilla of a dude, 6'5". We were talking mad shit, roasting his technique, having fun, but giving real critique too. He inboxed me. We talk a little bit, might go spar with the dude one day. So we're gonna do a fight companion for his fight and some of the other fights on the KSI card. That's gonna be during the day. That's gonna be a midday fight companion because it's in the UK. That's next Saturday, probably around 2-3 p.m. So we can support comedian Sam Hyde, who inboxed us, and he does a lot of good work in comedy. And maybe he'll come hang out with a wigger after the fight, he said. But I'm not sure. But I appreciate all y'all. Much love. See you soon.